So were you happy with your result there? Did you come fifth in the place in the A final?
Yeah, we came fifth place, and that was pleasing for us. But as you may remember, the conditions in London Olympics were
I know.
very variable,
Yeah.
and we had to switch the lanes around a lot and everything. So that was like, I think it was not the best result we could have got.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it kind of put us off our game to be in such a chaotic conditions, and the race, which didn't know what kind of race it would become.
So were you were you on the I'm thinking the far side because I was on the commentator side, but you were on the far side lanes for that regatta.
What's we were on the grandstand.
Yeah, the big grandstand side.
Not the family.
Yeah.
We were not in the fast lane.
No.
We were initially we were very happy about the draw. Like we were on the right under the side. But then half an hour before a race, they switched everything around, and
yeah,
and then we knew, we're not going to stand a chance.
Yeah.
But we just gave it everything we had. But in the end, it was just it was not possible to get a better result than we did.
So you loved that experience so much. I mean, it sounds amazing listening to you talking about it, particularly that moment in the Olympic Village. But you obviously had no question, I guess, that you were going to carry on with this sport that you love after the London Olympics. And you were then in the World Championships. I know you went to Chengdu. You competed in the World Championships in Amsterdam, and I think in Egbelet after that in 2015, if that's right. So to an extent, coming fifth in the Olympics, I guess you would have been looking to produce a medal-winning performance at the World Championships.
So after 2012, we had a reorganization in the Dutch Olympic rowing team.
Yeah,
because there was not a satisfactory performance in London, and as a result of that, my coach David McGowan, he had to leave the team, and I was really disappointed by that.
Yeah,
because I had a very good personal relationship with him, and I still thank him a lot for teaching me what he taught me. So I had a very difficult time after London, trying to find my way with the new coach and with the new team. And actually, I missed out on the Ergometer World Championships. I wasn't there.
So I really, because your career profile is really interesting in that you did so well in London, and then I didn't realise you weren't in 2015, but you weren't racing in the Rio Olympics either.
No, I wasn't. I was the spare in the Rio Olympics.
So that must how was that for you? That run, from 2015 and 2016. What was going on in your mind? How did you explain your performance to yourself? How did you motivate yourself to keep going?
So after the Amsterdam World Championships, we had a very disappointing performance in the 8 with I think a B final. Can't even remember what spot we were in. I think we might have even been second in the B final, which was very disappointing for me. And I really started questioning my own motivation to continue rowing.
Wow.
And that year, I took a year away from the team, and I trained together with Stef Bruning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who was in the single sculls last year.
Yeah.
He's in the double sculls now.
Yeah.
And we trained together for that season, during which I found out, like, going back to basically training at the club and going back to basics that I really like the sport. I really just like rowing. It was not like an ego thing for me, or a, a thing about only performance. It's also like the sport in its most basic form. I just
Yeah.
really like it. I like the movement. I like the feeling of the boat. I like the way rowers train, and I like the people.
Yeah.
And that motivated me to keep on rowing. And in 2016, in the 2016 season, Mark Emke gave me it's basically a second chance to
Oh,
get
right.
back in the team, and I had
So
to prove myself from the bottom up again.
that was quite an achievement, getting to be the spare or the alternate in the Olympic team. Then you know that was quite a big step by the sounds of things.
Yeah, for me that was like the first moment towards building to my performance again. Yeah, that was I had to prove myself from the ground level up. I started at the bottom of the stairs,
Yeah.
and yeah, in the end, I got to go to Rio as the spare rower, but that was okay for me. I just tried my best for the crew, and I hope I contributed to their success in Rio.
Yeah. Was it very much a different experience for you in Rio to London, being the spare rower, and how did your mentality cope? It sounds like you were thinking a lot of helping that crew, the men's eight, I guess, and
Like the mentality as an alternate is less self-centered.
yeah,
So you have to realize you're not doing it for yourself. And I thought in the long term it would be a good thing for my rowing career to be the alternate in Rio.
yeah,
So I was just happy to be there, and I was trying my best to help the crew. And if they had any problems, I could always step in. So I had to maintain my fitness and
yeah,
to keep rowing. Um, but in the end, it's a very different experience from being in a racing crew yourself, because you're building towards racing fitness and form,
yes,
but you're not racing in the end. At least we had some tryouts for the Rio Olympics. Like the day before races, there's always spare races,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I won those. So
Did
I
you?
thought, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
the Olympic champion of spare rowing. There was even a little medal ceremony.
No,
Yeah,
really?
you need to try that out as well. So,
Yeah. Wow.
but I for me that was okay. It was every bit that I could take that year was I was taking for granted.
Yeah.
Was that was a positive thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I was looking in the long term. I could if I could manage my position in the team again,
Yeah.
and I could prove myself, then that was great.
And did you got that feedback in 2017 and 2018 where you were
Yeah,
in the team?
precisely.
Yeah.
2017 was for me personally was a pretty good season. It started with becoming national champions in the pair with Roel,
Oh,
really big, powerful
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I
That
know
was,
all.
yeah, that was a very fun experience.
Yeah.
Um, and after we went into Belgrade to the first World Cup, and we were in the four. I think we came fourth in the four
Yeah.
together with Bjorn and Boas. And like an hour, maybe 90 minutes after our four finals, I had to step into the Nereus 8 because they had a sick guy.
Oh, that was the Nereus and Britain racing hit the guys from the ladies plate that have
Yeah.
been disqualified.
Yeah. That was their
Oh
graduate.
wow, that was such a cool race. Yeah. What's your memories of that race?
That was really, yeah. For me, the memories of the race are non-existent because I was already so tired from the force final. It was just hold on for dear life and try to contribute to this crew's performance.
Yeah.
But I think after about 1,000, maybe 1,200 meters, I caught my breath a bit, and I thought, all right, so now I can do something
Yeah,
finally.
yeah.
That was the feeling. But those guys were so happy
Whoa.
with doing that. Actually, I had to leave early. There was a really weird day. I had the 4 finals, and then straight after I was into the 8. I did the 8
Yeah.
finals, and then straight after I had to go to the airport to catch a flight.
So you missed the medal ceremony, did you?
No, I did do the medal ceremony,
Okay.
but I didn't do the after ceremony.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But that was good. That was really, really good. That was it was such a big compliment to my own club
yeah,
to be in a club 8 and win a World Cup gold medal. That was
yeah.
really really good experience.
And I think because some of those guys in the British 8 were also in the ladies' plate 8 that won the when Nereus were disqualified. I think was that
Yeah,
I think the
yeah,
previous
but
year. So there was a real added spice to that race.
yeah. It was like the race within the race.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really
Was,
interesting.
yeah, if yeah, I think for the rowing fans, especially for the Dutch and British fans, that was a really interesting race to watch.
Yeah.
And
Should we?
also
Yeah,
the
go on.
the the um, the the race was interesting in itself because the Brits they got out ahead, and then I think we only caught them like in the last couple strokes.
Yeah,
It was really I mean the camera changed perspective, and then I couldn't see the sprint we were doing, and then the next perspective we were ahead, like,
wow.
but only by a couple meters, and that was a really exciting race to watch.
Yeah, yeah, wow. So let's just take a little break and talk about you and training. How are you on the ergometer?
Me, um, I'm decent.
Yeah. What?
I would say that hard work pays off on the ergometer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to tell us what your 2K score would be?
Um, so for the past couple of years, we've been training on the
Okay.
Rowperfect machines,
Yeah.
which are different in timekeeping. So
Yeah.
that would be, I think that would be, yeah. It's a bit weird to give my 2K score on the Rowperfect, but on the concept machine, I was a 549.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And what do you make of training on the Rowperfect? Do you like that transition? Does it work for you?
I think apart from the seat, which is terrible on the Rowperfect, it's a great machine. It simulates the movement of rowing better and the feeling
Yeah.
of the boat better than the concept machines.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I think it's mostly for experienced rowers or um, people who actually row, like for fitness and
Yeah. Yeah.
general training. The concept machine is just fine. It's
Yeah.
robust and yeah, it's a good exercise. But if you want to improve your rowing, you're better off with the Rowperfect machine.
Yeah. And do you have a preference? Say, a lot of rowers for the 2K or the 5K or 6K tests. Sometimes rowers prefer one or the other. Do you have a preference for that?
Can we include a 100-meter test?
Oh, are you good at that?
No, no, I'm not good at it, but I just prefer it. It's shorter. I mean, you can't prefer a 5K or a 2K or a 6K. They're all terrible. They're all in the
Yeah.
range of bad and worst.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
no, I'm I'm
What's your,
I'm good doing 2K, but I'm also good doing a 5K. That's fine.
yeah. What's your favorite trade? Do you have a favorite type of training session? Is it endurance work? Is it paddling? Is it doing pieces at pace? Is it doing the race pace things like you did this morning? What's your favorite type of training session?
I mean, it depends on the approach. Like in the end, the race pieces are what you're doing it all for. So that's the most fun in training.
Yeah.
But like endurance sessions, when you really got a good flow and a good focus, with the crew can be a really nice feeling as well.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're forced to let the boat run, and you have to be loose, and everything needs to fall into place because there's more time for things to go wrong when you're doing just endurance rowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the race pace pieces, that's just the most adrenaline, and it's the most exciting bits. Yeah.
Did I see altitude? Because you were at altitude camp a couple of weeks ago. Did I see you did something like 10 300 meters? Was that a session that you remember doing?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's just a session. I
Yeah.
mean, what to say about it? We vary our race pace pieces and endurance pieces and everything in between. And this is one of the sessions we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And do you get a chance to do a lot of cross training? I mean, how much of your time is in the boat, or how much is on the Rowperfect? Do you do anything in the gym at all? I know you mentioned you did a bike ride today.
So that depends on the part of the season. Like in the off season, we do a lot more cross training on the bike mostly, and there's also periods where we hit the gym a lot. We
Yeah.
try to become stronger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but going into a final championship, we would transition to training more specifically for the rowing. So we
Yeah.
get into the boat as much as we can, and if we can't, we do ergometer pieces.
Yeah. 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 So, thinking about people that have helped you in your career, or kind of role models for you. Do you have any role models, or do you have anybody? I know you've talked about Dave McGowan, who I think is working in Ireland now, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, do you have anyone else that's been really supportive and helpful to you that you would look and say that person made a difference, or any role models people that you admire and inspire you?
Uh, the only answer I would be able to give you is like it's not even a real person, but I would look like towards Rocky Balboa.
Whoa, go on.
I just like, for me, being an elite athlete is not only about winning and training. It's also about the whole perspective of being a person, and how you approach your ambitions and your goals, and the people around you, how you motivate them. And that for me is like, I don't know anybody, or it's very hard to get to know somebody as a complete person when
Yeah.
they're an athlete, because athletes are always, in the end, they're a bit self-centered, and it's always focused on themselves because they're the ones having to do the performance. So it's a necessity to be focused on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
With a fictitious character, it's easier to like make everything good. Like Rocky's heart is in the right place, and he's trying to be a good father and a good husband, and
Yeah.
he he works he works the hardest of everyone. And that's like, it's more of a perfect situation, but it's also, if I were to work towards something, I would work towards becoming a person like that.
Wow, that's a really great answer. I didn't expect that, but I see exactly what you mean, Ruben, when you talk about that. Um,
Thanks.
we've got a question from Ian Weir, who's watching, who talks about the Red Bull sponsorship being such a cool thing. I know you and the Croatian pair have it, and you guys clearly have some fun with it. Do you think that having a strong crew identity independent of the national team helped to secure that opportunity?
Um, well, to be fair, we're never independent of the national team. we've always been like the flagship of Dutch rowing ever since '96, I think. And being in the eight is in itself, it's a really cool boat. It's the fastest boat out on the water, so that already helps. You already know, like, we're the biggest guys out here, we're the fastest guys out here, and that gives a certain crew mentality.
Yeah, yeah,
The good thing about the Red Bull sponsorship is they try to help us out in developing this crew mentality. Like, we're not just the HollandAcht, but we're trying to profile as what is the HollandAcht and what is the Dutch eight, what does it stand for, and how cool are these guys, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
trying to help us out with, like, in the background. Obviously, they also tremendously help out financially and also practically. They have a really cool training center in Austria, which we visited a month ago.
Oh wow.
They try to help us with advice on sports psychology and nutrition. And I think in my opinion, it's the best sponsor we've had so far.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think Ian might have been asking that because there was, I think, the possibility in British rowing to have the men's eight separate. You know, I think they could get a sponsor, but the team decided that they wanted a whole team sponsor, that they wouldn't just sell one boat or something like that. But you know, I think for my way of thinking, it would be a good idea to have different sponsors for individual boats. I think that would work.
I think that would be that's what we've been doing with the Dutch team at the moment.
Yeah.
So for most sponsors, like, giving an appropriate amount of monetary funding for an entire team is just impossible, because rowing teams are quite big. Like, our team is, when we go into world championships, is I think it's already 30 male athletes and 30 female athletes. So that's 60 athletes we
Yeah.
have to provide for, and that's just too much for a single sponsor. So it's easier for a sponsor to support a single team and
Yeah.
to identify a single crew with their brand or their company.